Alright, so welcome back to our lesson. We are still in the same question. It's just getting a little bit too long, so I thought I'll make another little video. This is a bit of a long lesson, maybe a double, maybe like 2 lessons really. So we've calculated the 3 different averages. One more thing that we need to be able to do, another tool we developed for stats, is range. Okay, and you come across that. I think you've heard of this. A range is basically your maximum value minus your minimum value. Okay, it's how much different is the top to the bottom. So in this case, for the appearance of the store, the maximum value is 5, the minimum one is 2, so the range will be 3. That is the range. Okay, and it's the same going to be here. The highest is 5, the smallest is 2, so the range will be 3. So you can have a bunch of data that might have different means, mode, and median. We had different means, definitely different means. The modes were also a bit different, and the median were, well, at the end I changed it, but they have the same range. So it's very, very possible. Okay? I'm going to pause here, and I'll put another question which will complicate things. It will do the same thing, but it's slightly more complicated. Hang on. Okay, so the next question will be a little bit more realistic when it comes to stats problems. So if you do a research, if you go on and you do research later on in your life and you're going to collect data, you could be just working for some kind of phone company and preparing some kind of research. You're going to be asking more than 11 customers. You're going to have more, you need more than 11 customers to have a good idea of how the store is looking like. So this is another store where we have some appearance rating from customers, but we have way more customers. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand what does this table mean. Okay, it means that what is the score and frequency? Frequency means how many people actually voted for this score. So this means that 482 people give it a score 1, 513 score 2, 1,800 score 3, so and so and so score 5. So there's many more people. That's going to give us a better idea of what the store is really like. Yeah. Now, one of the things that in that question actually was given to you, but in the test it might not. One of the first, maybe the first thing you need to do before you even look at the question is find out how many people were actually in this survey. How are we going to know how many people were surveyed? Well, you know, if 480 so voted 1, 530 voted 2, and so on. The total number of people are just the sum of all these frequency. Okay, frequency means how many people vote for it. So we're going to add, okay, add them all up. And if you do that, you'll see you'll get 10,000. So 10,000 people participate in this survey. Again, in this specific question, they actually told you it was 10,000, but sometimes they might not tell you, and you need to find that out. Now, the question is, again, calculate the mean, mode, and median. Okay, and you'll see that now is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so how would I find the mean? Okay, the mean tells me that I'm going to add up all the different scores, and then divide by the total number. So I'm gonna, what should I do? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5? Just add that? No, because you know it wasn't just one person that voted 1. How many people voted 1? Well, that's the frequency. So it's going to be 482 times 1. 482 voted 1. That means it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You know, I'm not going to add 1 plus 1 plus 1 480 times. For that, I've learned multiplication. So it's 482 times 1. Plus, how many people voted 2? 513 times 2. Okay? Plus, 1,808 times 3. Okay? I'm going to just run out of space, so I'm just going to add all that. Plus 4 people, people scored 4. It was, so I should write that first. 4,192 times 4 plus 3,500 times 5. I've added all of this up. Okay? That's the total score. Okay? You understand? It's not just 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Because there was more than one person voting 1, more than 2 people, more than 1 people voting 2. Okay, so I have to multiply. What I'm doing, I'm multiplying frequency times score, and then I gotta divide all this thing by what? By the number of people. How many people? That's why I needed to begin with to add the total number of people. So I divide that by 10,000. And please check me, do that in your calculator to make sure you know how to use a calculator. The book says that is going to be 3,42. So the mean is 3,42. Okay? Now let's move on to the mode. The mode is very easy. Okay? The mode is very easy. The mode, what was the mode? The mode is the number, in this case a score, that is the most common. How can I tell from this table which one is the most common score? Well, all I'm going to do is just read the table. The one that has the highest frequency. Because what does frequency mean? It's the number of people who got that score. So it's very clear that the most people gave a score 4. So the mode is 4. Are we happy with that? Right. Let's pause. I'll clear out and I'll go on to the median, which is a little bit more tricky. Okay, now the median. The median is a little bit more tricky. Why is it tricky? Because I have 10,000 customers. Now, if I had to line up, I'll write down 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. How many 1, 1, 1 will I put? 482. How many 2s will I have? 513. If I start putting the edges, crossing the edges until I get to that one in the middle, it will take me hours. It will be madness to do it. So we need to find a way of finding what is the median when we have big numbers. So let's not start with 10,000. We'll get there in a second. But let's start with something like, let's start with 69. Let's say I have 69 customers or 69 people, and I want to find out which one is the middle value. Okay? I don't want to write down all the 69 values and start crossing. That's also going to take me too long. So can you think about what is the middle of 69? Okay? If you think about it, okay? What is 69? 69 is 34 plus 1 plus 34. I know it's kind of like, why am I doing this? You'll see in a second. Okay? So what I've done is I've just found, I found the one even number below 69, which is 68, and I split it into 2. That's what I've done. Okay? So it's 34, 1 in the middle, and 34. So if you think about it, that middle number, the median is the 35th, right? Because I have 34 below the 35. I've got 34 above the 35. They together add to 69. And then the 35th is in the middle. Okay? How did I know to choose 34? What I've done is, and this is the trick, I did 69 plus 1. I've added 1 divided by 2. That gives me 34. Okay? So I know there's 34 below. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay? Oh, sorry. I did 69 plus 1 divided by 2. That gives me 35. That's how I found the average. Okay? So let's take another number just to make sure you got it. I'll just erase that. Let's say we had, give me some number. 50, well, again, we're looking for odd numbers. The even, we'll see in a second. Let's say 57. Which one is the middle value? Right, so I'm going to add 1. I'm always adding 1 and dividing by 2. I have to add that 1, okay, to make that odd number into even number, and then I'll divide by 2, I'll get a whole number. So 58 divided by 2 is the 20. No, what is 58? It's 29. Yeah, is that 29? Okay, 58 divided by 2 is 29. So the median is going to be number 29. Let's check that out to make sure. 29, the 29, okay, that means there's going to be 28 before that. There's going to be 28 after that. 28 plus 28 is 56, and the 29 sits nice snug in the middle. Okay? So what are we doing? Okay? Well, we'll write down the rule in a second. What about if we had an even number? Now we have an odd number. What if we have a data like, let's say 56? That's an even number. Okay? Now remember, when we had an even number like 4, there wasn't 1 in the middle. We had to find the mean between 2 middles, right? If I have 3 numbers, there is a middle. If I have an odd number, there is a middle. If I have an even number, the median is between the two middle. So I'm expecting really to find a half a number, okay, or not a half, between two numbers. So let's use the same rule, okay? We're going to add 1 divided by 2, just like I've added 1 divided by 2. Now I'm going to get 57, which is divided by 2, which is an odd number divided by 2, so that's not going to be a whole number, okay? What is that? It's going to be 28,5. 28,5, right? 57 divided by 2, 28 is times 2 is 56, so 28.5. So what does that mean that we have a not whole number? It basically means that the median is the mean of the 28th and 29th. Okay, I'm just going to make sure you guys can see it. Yes. Okay, so here the median, okay, that was the median. The median, the one in the middle was the 29th. Here, when I have an even number, the median will be the number or the average or the mean between the 28th and the 29th. So just to wrap out everything, how to find median. To find median, what you're going to take is number of data. Number of data, in this case it was 57, in this case it was 56, in this case it's going to be 10,000. Add 1 divided by 2. Okay, so guys, please at this point just pause this video and copy that into your book. I think it's a very, very important formula. How to find a median without thinking too much. Take the number of the data, the number of scores, the number of people, whatever it is, add 1 divided by 2. If that number was odd, you will have a proper median, okay? If that number was even, you're going to have a 0.5 number. That means it's going to be between the one below and one above. Okay, let's make some space and go back to that problem. Okay, so in this question, I think for now it will be quite clear for you that if I want to find the median here, and I've got 10,000 people, 10,000 scores, okay, what is the median? Well, I'll write it down here. We take that number, 10,000, plus 1 divided by 2. Now, 10,000 even, so I'm expecting to have a 0.5 number here. Okay, 10,000 plus 1 divided by 2, it comes out as 5,000.5. Right? 10,000 divided by 2 will be 5,000, but 10,001 divided by 2 will be 5,000.5. In other words, the median, you need to understand what it is. What does it mean, 5,000.5? It's between, or the mean, the median is going to be equal to the mean of data number 5,000 and 5,001. Okay, again, I hope you guys can see that 5,001 there. You can. Okay, 5,001. Okay. But how do I know which one is the 5,000 and 5,001? Do I need to again just put 1, 1, 1, 1, do like that 480 times to 500 times and then count 5,000? Is that how I should do it? Of course, it's going to be lunatic. I will be a lunatic if I do that. What I got to do is something that you probably haven't done before, and it's going to be counting the number of people who had up to 1, up to 2, up to 3. I'll take you through it. It's a little bit tricky. So, and this is something you just need to write on the table, in the test, on it, okay? It's not going to be a space for you to do it. You need to know to do it. So if I ask you, okay, I know that there's 482 people who gave a score 1, but how many people gave up to a score 1? Well, there is no score 0. There's nothing below 1. So the people who got up to score 1 is 482. All the rest gave a score 2 above. Okay? So that's pretty straightforward. Now, next thing, I'll use another color to try and make it clear. Let's say I ask how many people gave a score 1 or 2. So up to score 2. You'll see why am I doing it in a second. You'll see why. So how much would that be? Well, that's going to be 482 gave score 1, 513 gave a score 2. So up to score 2 is going to be, I'm just going to add up, 995. So 995 gave up to score 2. Okay, again, I know you probably ask me, why am I doing it? You'll see in a second. Now, let's say I want to ask, how many people gave, yes, up to score 3. See, I'll draw these kind of colors as well. That's up to score 2. That's just up to score 1. And this is really up to score 3. So now I need to add the number of people who gave score 3, which is 1,808, plus all the people who gave up to score 2. So I don't need to add 482 and 513. I've done that already here. So I'm just going to have 1,808 plus 995. Okay? And I've got, I'll do it in the same color, 2803. Okay? Again, at this point, you still don't know why am I doing it, right? Now I'm going to ask, you already guessed, how many people get score 1, 2, 3, or 4? So I'm going to take that number and I'm going to add to it 4,192 equal 995. And then the last one, go back to green. How many people gave up to a score 5, including score 5? I don't need to calculate anything there. I know that nobody gave more than a score 5. So altogether, that's 10,000. I can stop here. Okay? Now, why did I do this exercise? The median, I'm looking for the median, remember? The median is the 5,000 person. I'm looking, or between, the average between the 5,000 and the 5,001. Okay? The mean between the 5,000 person and the 5,001, that's your median. So I want to know which group is he at. Okay? I'm going to count. I'm going to see where do I get to 5,000. Up to here, there's no 5,000. That's not the 5,000. That's 2,800. If I put the first 2,800, they all got 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Where would the 5,000th value be? Well, it's going to be here. Okay? It's going to be exactly somewhere and someone who gave a score 4. So that's going to be your median. The median is going to be 4. The median is not 5,000. It's not 5,001. It's the score that the 5,000 and 5,001 gave. Okay? So the median is 4. I know it's a little bit tricky. Okay? If you're not happy or if you're not sure about that, please let me know on the WhatsApp and I can send another, I'll probably just do another example of another question. Okay? Have a lovely day. Enjoy the exercise.